Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Mindset Monday. We are here at the end of the month of August, and I can't believe how fast the summer has gone. But I want to talk today about the book called You Were Born Rich. Last week, we had a meeting, and I was blown away that our company EXP brought on Brian Proctor. And Brian Proctor is the son of Bob Proctor. And Bob Proctor, I have read his books, and the book that we're going to talk about today is You Were Born Rich. And it is one of the best books. If you haven't read it, please think something's happening. Looks like I hope that you guys can hear me or see me.
We can hear you, but we can't see you.
That's so weird. I know, I can just see my background. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can share the screen. Um, Very weird. Zoom has been doing some crazy stuff lately. So see if I can pull this up. Hmm. Okay. Um, can Am I sharing my screen? Can you guys even see that?
Yeah, we can see your PowerPoint.
A PowerPoint? Okay. So I'm gonna get to do a slideshow here. And but that just sort of was weird that I wonder if it's just my camera, you know? Well, you guys don't need to see me. You can hear me. And I'll just share my screen and there we go. So slideshow, I'm gonna start from the current slide. Okay. So here's the book that we are going to talk about. And like I said, last week, EXP, there was a meeting. I logged on. I was able to listen to Brian Proctor for a whole hour. So inspirational that it reminded me of this book, You Were Born Rich. And so I went back. I've got a copy of it. So what I'll do is I will, with everybody that came on today, I will go ahead and share the book online so that you can read the ebook. But if you love listening to books, Bob Proctor actually has a great Canadian accent, and I love hearing him speak. I got to meet him in person. Gosh, I'm thinking it was maybe 30 years ago, and he was part of the Unity ministry, and I was a member of a Unity church in Atlanta, Georgia, and we were trying to build a bigger church, and we had Bob Proctor come in and help us with that so that we could actually learn how to increase the income of the church, have because we were going to build this beautiful um, sanctuary, for people to come in. And so I got to meet him, and what a wonderful man. He died not too long ago, but you know what? The way his son Brian expressed it, he died a very, very happy man. He has helped millions and millions and millions of people, and his son is doing the same work now. So please read this book. You will be blown away with the intelligent way of unlocking your potential. Okay, so here is Bob Proctor, world renowned, over 40 years of studying and speaking about personal development. And if you ever watched that movie, The Secret, he was one of the you know, MCs on the movie, talked a lot about the law of attraction. He was actually one of the first back in the 70s, along with Louise Hay, who I'm a Louise Hay instructor. And so he was, with her leading the way in the law of attraction. So the core idea of this book, so that you can understand, is that he talks about how we already possess everything that we need for success. So it's really all about your mind. And so that's why I wanted to talk about this today. It's an unbelievable mindset if you can lean towards always thinking about abundance. Okay, so true wealth really begins in your mind. And when you talk about an abundance mindset, that means that you try not to have a scarcity mindset, because a scarcity mindset is where you look at a glass that has water in it. And are you the type of person that looks at that glass with water and said, it's only, it's half empty? And I'm the type of person, and I want you to try to be that type of person that looks at a glass of water and says, you know what, it's half full. So you can think about it like this: half full or half empty. Do you have a scarcity mindset or abundance mindset? And it's not always about money. It's about not just collecting material things, but spiritual things. Abundance mindset is how do you have the things that you want in life, not just about money. You can have love. You can have food, you can have shelter, all of those things. Those are a part of having an abundance mindset. So here are the 5 key principles. Having a prosperity consciousness. And when we talk about consciousness, this is that part of your brain that we don't always go into that part of our consciousness. We're 98% of our mindset and 98% of our mind works on the non-conscious part. So only about 2 to 3% of your daily thoughts are based on consciousness. Okay, so think about walking, right? You don't consciously put that one foot in front of the other. That has become a non-conscious thing. So we're going to talk about how prosperity can be part of your consciousness. The law of attraction, we're going to talk a little bit about that, and then goal settings and visualization, and then having that self-image, having those belief systems that are going to have that more of the abundance mindset, and then how to take action, all right, with faith. So prosperity consciousness is really thinking about that wealth. What we talked about, the true wealth is created in the mind first. Okay. I already talked about how you can shift from having that scarcity mindset to more of an abundance thinking mindset. And I tell you, the first thing that I do every morning is work on my gratitude, because gratitude is the foundation, right? Gratitude, if you can start your day with being thankful, you'll start receiving more of what you're thankful for, because you are putting your mindset into that abundance. Instead of waking up and having an attitude of, I don't have enough money today to do the things that I want to do, starting your day off thinking that I don't have the energy to do. So what's going to happen is you're going to bring more of that into your life. So if you switch it to the gratitude aspect of it, then you're building your foundation, starting your day with what you're thankful for, and then more that changes your energy, changes your thought process, and then more of that will actually come to you. I always say, what if you only received the things that you were grateful for the day before? So think about that. If you were only grateful for, let's just say, food, and you weren't grateful for all the other things, so the next day, that's all you had was what you were grateful for the day before. So try to expand on being grateful. Try to list as many things that you can in that gratitude journal. And again, you will start receiving, just like this, the law of attraction. You'll start receiving the things that you like, the things that you love, because like attracts like. That's what a law of attraction is. Your thoughts, your feelings, the things that you do, when you take action on something, will result from those thoughts and feelings. All right. So if you have thoughts of scarcity, if you had thoughts of hate, or if you have thoughts of things that aren't working out for you, well, guess what? Those results are going to be the same thing that happened from your thoughts. So try to align your thoughts with the things that you want from your desired outcome. And I'm talking about having a burning desire, because when you have that feeling and you align those thoughts for something that you really, 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 truly want, then that's what's going to be the outcome. Okay. So law of attraction's big in this book. And it's one of the first books about law of attraction. You Were Born Rich. And I think he's changed the book, changed the name to Born Rich because it things happen as books get older, and he just had that title, switched it to Born Rich. But I love it because we have everything that we need. We're rich already when we are born, and so you just take those things and align your thoughts with them. Okay, so thoughts and beliefs affect your feelings, right, and emotions, and your feelings and emotions will affect your actions and behaviors. Then again, your action and behaviors go back to the thoughts. So try to always remember this. If you have a negative feeling or a negative thought come into your head, what I do is I have a hair tie, a rubber band that I wear around my wrist just in case I ever need to pull my hair back or anything. And if I have a negative thought, I will actually pull that rubber band back onto my arm, and it'll, slap back onto my wrist. And it's just like a way of me waking up and saying, don't have those thoughts. All right. Change those thoughts. How can I change my thoughts to more positive? So when you are working with your goals are so powerful when it comes to that abundant thinking, because aren't goals something that we want, of abundance in our life, prosperity in our life? And so when you have those goals, the goals of doing something, let's just say that you have a goal for the rest of this year, you've got 4 months left. Um, I'm going to close 5 transactions each month for the rest of the year. That'll give me 20 transactions. Or you have a goal of, I'm going to make 5 calls a day, and that'll be 20 calls a week if I do it 4 days a week. And then multiply that out. Okay. So set clear, specific goals of what you want to do, and then start looking at it daily. All right. This is another thing with the gratitude journal. When I look at my goals that I've set for the month, or the goals I've set for the week, or the goals I've set for that day, it all starts in the morning, and I visualize how that's going to look, and that I'm building up that energy so that if I write these goals down, and you always want to use like I am, because I am puts you in that present tense, in the present moment. And then if you say certain things every day, you will attract, like I said, law of attraction. All right. Like attracts like. So if you are doing these types of affirmations with your goals, what can happen is that you will start to receive what you want. Okay. Because you are changing that energy around it. So when it comes to self-image, this is tough sometimes, especially if you're going through some things, and we talk so negative to ourselves sometimes. So I always think, how would I talk to my child, or if I were a child, how would I want someone to talk to me? And so if I'm ever talking really negatively about myself, I say, would I actually say that to another human being? Would I actually say that to somebody else? Why would I say it to myself? So when you find yourself talking negative, you want to remember that the results that you want will actually match what you think about yourself. Okay? So I've been reading all month about self-love and self-image. And, there's so many great speakers, so many people that, like Maya Angelou, who talks about, you need to talk to yourself like your life depends on it, because your life does depend on it. Your results of how you think about yourself will match your goals, will match what you actually want in life. Okay, so you need to love yourself and you need to believe in yourself. And that's why I like it says upgrade your beliefs, okay, to match those goals. So when you have these certain goals, upgrade what you believe about yourself that you can actually do it. And then practice these affirmations and always, always identify yourself as someone positive, okay? Because that self-talk is so, so important. And when you start to take action on your goals, what you'd really want to do is think about um, those things that are going to change for you, okay? And you got to have faith that that change is going to happen. So faith without action means you're just wishing. Okay. Have you ever done that where you just wish something would happen and nothing happens? It's because you actually have not taken the action and in order to make change happen. So small, consistent little things every day. So we talk about that, or at least I talk about that when I'm doing some of my classes is if you can just, if you have your goals and you say, if I make those 5 calls every day for 4 days a week, that's 20 calls. 20 times 4, all of a sudden I made 80 calls in 1 month. And if I do that times, every single month, think how many phone calls. Those are just little, small, consistent actions that would create this momentum. You are bound to get some business because you are doing the little things that, that are going towards your goals of creating those clients and creating your outcome. So you have to act. And I do this a lot with visualization and feelings and emotions is I act as if it's already happened. So if you can visualize, let's just, let's throw in about a new car. Okay, so your reticular activating system is part of your brain, and you're like, I'm looking at things online about the car that I really want, and all of a sudden you start seeing more of these cars out when you're driving. You see them in the parking lot when you park, because your focus has become focused on this thing that you want. And then if you visualize it, that it's already yours, then all of a sudden the universe and people that you surround yourself with, things are going to happen so that that goal can happen for you. All right. So I know it's, thinking about a car is very material, but if it's something that you really want in your life, let's say losing weight, you see yourself as this thinner person. All right. You can visualize yourself what it would look like for you to be a thinner person. Okay. And then you take these small, little, consistent actions. It's not going to happen overnight. All right. It's not like this magic wand that you wave and you just, say, I'm going to be this small, skinnier person. It takes those little successful acts, eating differently, working out, exercising, and then before you know it, you are that person that you have visualized. Okay, so just remember how important it is to act. And then I want you to know some of these money blocks. All right, this is a picture of Jim Quick. Jim Quick, his last name's spelled Kwik. He's got some great books too, and his story is amazing, where he had a learning disability and he turned that learning disability into a learning ability. And it all started, where he had a lot of fear about what people thought about him and he couldn't read. And then he switched that mindset to, I'm going to learn how to do things differently. And now he's a speed reader and he's able to help other people with that. But when you get rid of the fear and the doubt, because the fear and the doubt is what holds you back from creating the wealth and creating that true abundance that you really want. We've all had negative conditioning. We've all had things in our life where other people have talked negatively around us. Parents, even some teachers have been, talk negative. That's what was happening with Jim Quick when he was growing up, is they told him that he would never amount to anything because he had this learning disability. And now he's, a motivational speaker, and he's worked with Steven Seagal. He's worked with so many different people in movies because he's helped them to memorize lines. And so I just think if you have that money block, you need to look at what it is, try to identify it, and try to get rid of it. Okay. So again, if you don't have persistence and trying to get rid of some of those money blocks, they'll hang around. And then when it comes to these blocks, I want you to really think about if that fear pops up for you, how you can switch that to faith. Okay. How you can switch it to having that faith that it's going to show up for you. You keep trying and you keep trying. And so many times we're so close to the edge. We're right there where abundance is about to happen, or something big is about to happen in your life. And you stop because of fear. And so just remember how many times, Thomas Edison failed. He failed thousands and thousands and thousands of times when he was trying to create, the light bulb. And before you know it, years later, boom, it happened. So we're so glad that he, kept trying and kept trying. So remember those things. Surround yourself with positive influences. If there's somebody in your life that you're like, you know what, I always feel good about around this person. Maybe we should team up and do something positive together. I went Saturday night to this great gala, and it was so much fun to get dressed up for a cause. And it was for housing sustainability for homeless, and also Project ICU, which is, I'm a big worker with that charity. And it's like whenever I get around these types of people that are about giving, I have so much faith in humanity that things are going to turn out for not only for me, but for all of these people that I want to help. And so again, surround yourself with positive influences. And then when it comes to, making it happen for yourself, you got to be persistent. You got to have faith, and you got to do things over and over and over for you to see any kind of changes or new results. And what I do this every morning, same thing. I've been doing this for, gosh, I'm trying to think, if I met Bob Proctor 30 years ago, then I guess for 30 years or more, probably 33, 34 years, because I started doing this before I had my son, and my son's 32. I started doing, the gratitude journaling, but I also started doing the visualization exercises. And I started, these practical applications of affirmations. And the affirmations, like I was telling you, doing the I am a successful person. I am a wealthy, healthy, and wise person. And you talk to yourself like that, so that energy within yourself, the cells within yourself, your mind starts to create this energy. And then those people that you or surround yourself with are also want to help you. So it's like all of a sudden the synchronicity will happen when you're like, wow, this person just came into my life, and all of a sudden all of these great things started happening. And it's because you had that mastermind aspect of working with like-minded people. I love the masterminds that we have. I think we have another one today. Every Monday there's a mastermind. On Thursdays, I work with, going on to some of our agent attraction type of masterminds, because you are starting to work with like-minded people, the people that also want to be successful. They want to know how they can help you, and you want to know how you can help them. So the more you help others, just know that it's coming back to you, whether it's going to come back to you in a year or if it's come back to you that day. Just know that if you have that type of practical application of just working with like-minded people, your world is going to be better and everybody else's world is going to be better. So the final message really that I want to talk about is just understand that it's your birthright. You were born rich. What a great thing to say, right? You are already rich. You already have everything you need for potential in your life. And this is the biggest thing that I had to realize is you can't force it. It's not something that you chase, okay? It's got to be in your mind that you are going to attract it. And like I was telling you, if you're giving and you open yourself up to receiving, okay, if you are working with that attitude of gratitude, I love that. Having a gratitude attitude is if you are always thinking, I am so blessed, then that wealth is going to come to you because you don't have to chase it. You already are grateful. And so the more grateful that you are, the more you will attract more of these great things into your life. So again, it's a mindset. And that's why we're here, Mindset Monday. We're going to start our week out with thinking that I have everything that I need. Wealth is my birthright. I was born rich. I was born with everything that I need. And I'm going to take action. I'm going to take action so that I can live in an abundance. And this is a great quote by Bob Proctor. He says, just see yourself living in abundance and you will attract it. Okay? So visualization to me is one of the most powerful tools that you can have. And again, like I said, you're born with it. You don't even have to have eyesight to have visualization. Helen Keller, who was born blind, deaf, and dumb, had more visualization than probably anybody that you could have known in that time that she was born. She could visualize what it looked like, to see. So I just think that is so amazing that she never really gained that eyesight, but she could visualize what it was to be a seeing person. And so I want you guys to take this away with you this week. See yourself living in abundance, and you will actually attract it to you. Get this book. It's the #1 bestseller, Born Rich. Like I told you, he changed the title from You Were Born Rich to Born Rich, maximizing the awesome potential that you have. And again, you will start attracting to you everything that you are grateful for. So take that time every morning, write in a journal what you're grateful for, visualize seeing yourself, reaching those goals, having that dollar amount that you want in your bank account, having the things that you want. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wanting great things to happen for you and your family. Okay, so set out for the rest of the week with this attitude, and I know that you are going to attract everything that you want. All right, so hope that you enjoyed that and have a great week. And I won't be a ghost next time. All right, see you guys.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our EXP organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about EXP or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.